On a blue background, an eye chart and semicircular bracket that holds round lenses. From the black P in the chart, white letters ERFECT. The background fades, the bracket disappears. Karma presents. Hands put a lens in the bracket. Another chart. A film by Brian James Griffo. A man with an eye patch. Additional charts. Director of Photography, Ryan James Detzel. Audio Supervisor, Adam Buckley. The chart moves in and out of focus. A machine tests an eye. The hand removes the lens from the bracket. The bracket fades. A white lab coat. A side of a pair of glasses with thin metal frames. An eye patch placed over a left eye. A hand holds a card. Another hand points. 4 letters projected on a wall. A tiny beam of light moves in a dark room. The dials on a phoropter are turned. A woman in a dark room. Edited and directed by Brian James Griffo. A color illustration of the eye. White eye chart letters dissolve. Driving blind. The background becomes black. Words appear. One's destination is never a place, but a new way of seeing things. Henry Miller. In an SUV.
All right, you ready?
The grand adventure.
Yeah. It's great to get started on it.
The stress of prepping for it, getting to this point, I'm so much happier just being, like, officially being on the road. I figure at the end of this, we'll either be really close or we'll never talk to each other
Pretty
again.
much.
The girders of a bridge pass overhead. Green fields with tall trees pass. Todd takes a photo of Justin, who stands in a field next to a cardboard cutout of a man in an orange shirt. A sign, Prime Hook National Wildlife Refuge. On a boat, the brothers climb to the bridge. They shake hands with the captain. They stare out. A few white caps appear on the blue-green water. A hand turns a metal knob. The engine order telegraph is set to stand by. Tod and Justin lean on the gunwale. A road sign. Welcome to New Jersey. Another. Limited sight distance. New York City. The city at night. In a kitchen. Tongs turn meat.
Justin, how's it going?
It's going good. This is my brother Todd.
Hey, Todd, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, John.
At dinner.
This is one of the things we always want to do. We always want to do like a big road trip. See all there is in America, like see how beautiful it is. This disease that we got diagnosed with, choroideremia, it basically will, can lead us to be blind.
I honestly never talked about it with people. You don't want to be the blind guy that everybody kind of feels sorry for.
For me, it was like, I don't want to be pitied.
You need help, but you don't really want to be the guy who's like, oh, we gotta take special conditions because Todd's coming.
I don't want you to have to like do extra just for me. But obviously you kind of have to. But I think we're all like that. I mean, we all have something going on that needs a little extra TLC or whatever.
It made me feel broken. It made me feel, less manly, I guess.
We decided we wanted to do this road trip and kind of get out there and see what is about America.
To see stuff we've never seen and even revisit places that we've seen before, to go and check them out because, in a few years we may not be able to.
Fade to black. A sign. Raymondskill Falls. Next right.
If I knew the last thing I could see before I went blind, watching a little sunset where I've grown up all my life in eastern Kentucky.
A bearded man with glasses smiles. On a trail.
Oh, snap. Oh, big jump. Oh, shit.
On a dock. Todd slips out of his jeans. In the water. Todd sinks. Shivering, Justin gets out. They get dressed.
That was fun.
They high-five. Todd takes a picture from a boulder on the side of the trail. Todd takes Justin's picture. The two climb off a rounded rock. Their images blur. A yellow plant comes into focus.
No matter where you are, I think you can find beauty in everything. Just the most beautiful, picturesque, postcard perfect lake setting that you could ever imagine. And If I had to close my eyes and never open them again, I would probably want that ingrained on my eyelids.
A tan-skinned man with the falls behind him. Words appear. Raymondskill Falls, Pennsylvania. Delicate green plants by the rocks. Justin follows Tod on the trail. Nighttime.
That's the worst time I've ever. Okay, we need to. Let's kind of move it back and tilt the window, the front door more towards the campfire. I really do think it's amazing you can just stare at a campfire
Flames from a fire pit.
for the longest time and not say or do anything.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's something about it. It's a dance.
Yellow flames reflect off of Justin's glasses.
It's unpredictable.
You know, 3 months ago, I would have just, as far as going camping, I would have freaked out and been, no, I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
I'm looking forward to like going into town and stopping at some diner and then talking to people and then being like, oh, you gotta go check out this or whatever. And then they take us over there and like almost like having an adventure within this adventure when they grab us and take us to someplace we had never even thought about going. That's really exciting. It's just weird because I'm a planner and I want everything to go exactly as it's planned. There's no room for error. But then there's also, obviously, I have to let go and just, whatever happens, happens.
You get out here, and there's just so much nothingness. You're just kind of amazed that you're in the same country. Just seeing the land and then seeing the completely open blue sky. It was like such an amazing clear blue, and the clouds were like perfectly placed, so you're just like, it's almost like looking at a movie itself.
Strangers are gonna be so giving and wanna share their town with us or whatever for the sake of just showing their town to new people who haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
And with us, may never see it again. You know, that's really exciting.
Tod pokes the fire. Daytime. On a bridge.
A special production of WXXI Reach Out Radio in Rochester, New York. I'm Ruth Finney. Often when a person has been diagnosed with a life-threatening terminal disease, one begins to contemplate what they will do with the time they have remaining, how they will take care of their family, how they will say goodbye to their loved ones, and what things they really want to do on their bucket list, so to speak. All the things they want or need to do before the end of their life. But what would you do if you knew you would eventually go blind? What would you want to see? How would you burn those images into your mind so you never forget your spouse, your child, the beauty of a sunset over the ocean, or the Grand Canyon? The two gentlemen we're going to meet today are facing that very decision. Brothers Justin and Tod Purvis have been diagnosed with a rare, genetically linked, degenerative disease that causes blindness. Unsure of how long their vision will last, they've decided to set out on a journey together to see America and to raise awareness of choroideremia, this sight-stealing disease. Welcome, Justin and Tod.
In a studio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you here. So there's a lot more to this than just you guys seeing the United States. You're really trying to raise awareness about choroideremia and letting people know that there's hope. And
Yeah, I think, choroideremia and just kind of, doing something that you always wanted to do and never done it. It's just like, and we kind of took this final leap of faith on the road and to go around and do this before we can't, because we actually have a timer and we're actually aware of that timer. Most people, you kind of forget that, not only is there a timer on life, but there's a timer for other things too, and ours happens to be vision. Don't let anything kind of stop you. Just keep going and keep, if you want to do something, go ahead and do it, and also see the beauty around you before you can anymore.
We have a kind of fog in front of us, and with the choice to drive around America, it's like we don't know where we're going. We're going where the wind blows us, and we're gonna have loads of fun doing it.
Right.
In a boat near Niagara Falls. Wet Tod and Justin laugh. Water drops dot the camera lens.
so if you're going down a back road and you see something, are you likely to just stop and say, hey, we gotta stop there?
Absolutely, we've done that already a few times, that are just, you see something, you want to pull over and stop. We use the main highways to get, if we need to do a good amount of traveling, we'll do that, but then we'll also take an hour or two, pull over, go off the beaten road for a while, and just drive around and kind of see, because anywhere you go, there's something amazing to see that you just, if you look at it the right way and through the right eyes, it's going to look amazing. So,
I just want to thank you once again, Tod and Justin, for joining us today, and I do wish you all the best on your trip as you proceed.
In Ashford Hollow, New York. In the sculpture garden, the pair appear in the eyes of a large metal head. They walk past lifelike figures. Justin offers a hand to pull Tod on a sculpted toadstool. Justin grins. The field is dotted with large, abstract sculptures.
I would like to see for the last time the zoo.
3 children sit in one. 3 smiling children. Food is our common ground, a universal experience. James Beard. In a kitchen, a man with long dark hair slices. Nighttime. Tod leads with a flashlight. Justin follows and folds his white cane. The man opens the door. He hugs Tod and Justin. Inside, slices of baguette, roasted corn, and a plate of tomatoes sit on a table.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for getting us here safely. Thank you so much for Mario and his family and the new friends we're meeting along the way. If you could warm it up here in upstate New York, that'd be great too, but that's not a big thing. In your name we pray, amen.
Nice farm-cooked meal here for you guys.
Nice.
No, but really though, I'm psyched that you guys are here, man. This is a great experience to have. Things have been a little bit stagnant out here in the sticks for a minute, you know what I mean? The ultimate goal is to do enough good to have multiple harvests in different areas of your life. This is a perfect example of that.
I've been more amazed by just the support of strangers. I mean, my friends obviously, but people don't even know.
Most people truly are good-natured, especially if you do throw yourself out there in a way that is a little like left open, a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you guys want crab sour? I got some crab sour.
That sounds wonderful.
You know, you get to a point in the day where you can't drive another mile, you can't go another foot, and then you'll stop or something, and you'll think about not only what you're doing, but you'll see something that just kind of inspires me anyways, and wants me to keep going.
When you're done, I'll show you to your sleeping quarters.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You get the show on the road here.
Awesome.
If I was to potentially lose my vision, one of the last things that I would want to see is the result of ultimate togetherness, you know, in a community. Sharing, giving, you know. I think that's it.
Fade to black. Not all those who wander are lost. J.R.R. Tolkien. A roadside stall and sign, apples for the deer hunters. An American flag flies from the stall. Car keys. Sunglasses. A spider's web. It blurs to focus on a branch with dried blossoms. A seatbelt buckles. The car drives off. Tod in sunglasses seen in the rearview mirror. Justin, also in sunglasses, glances over at Tod. Justin's right eye behind his narrow glasses. Bright yellow sunlight on passing cars and trucks.
In the car on the way to the city.
Moving rapidly through a city.
It was foggy on the windscreen. We talked about the day ahead, and shouldn't we just run away instead?
Pale brown fields.
Started to believe our dreams, and I just kept driving right past the exit.
Interstate 280, Toledo, Detroit.
Yelling at the city goodbye, we won't miss you.
The highway passes at high speed. West 80, 90. Toledo. Approaching a city. The driver of an 18-wheeler seen in the side view mirror.
I knew now that our life's on track, as I felt the strength down in my bones come back.
South 49, Chesterton, Valparaiso.
This is all we ever wanted to do.
Bright sunlight,
So to the
a
south
passing
now
truck,
with our hearts
struts on a
alive
bridge.
and our heads free of worry that our lives provide. Off far in the distance, almost out of sight.
West
Goodbye
20,
to city days,
Michigan
so
City,
long to city
East
nights.
35, LaPorte, South Bend. Dark side view mirrors on a truck. Tall smokestacks from daylight to dusk. Lights glow on tall open structures. Nighttime.
So believe in every word we say.
First quarter
I
moon.
drove on
Dusk.
Till the break of day, a smile stretched from my ears to yours. There's nothing a bit of fresh breeze won't
North 75,
go on,
Flint,
you said.
West 96,
Drive
Lansing,
on, you
Chicago,
said.
Port Huron,
Go on,
Exit 54, 31st Street, the city lights blur, Illinois 64. Change from a toll booth. Small print at the bottom of a sign. City of Chicago. A bus crosses an intersection. In a park under lights. Boys play baseball. Chicago, Illinois. A man stands on the sidewalk with his cane. A playbill. Chemically imbalanced comedy.
My name's EJ Scott. I have choroideremia.
I'm the guy with the gun. Thank you very much.
Inside.
I don't have children, but if I ever had children, I'd like to see the faces of my children.
Who cares if I spill beer on a table?
No, I'm gonna say I would. If I was gonna come back and rob this place, I would not want a dirty table.
Look, all right, look. Here's the back room here, right? Here's the bartender's
A bottle cap.
This is Vanessa's station. She could be floating on.
If I was going to lose my sight, probably go and visit all my friends and sort of like memorize their faces. Try to remember them for afterwards, because I feel like we'd still be friends, but I could always like have that mental picture of them. Kind of amazing to have at that point in my life.
But we don't know the plan. When they interrogate us, we were like, I have no clue what he was doing, because we didn't.
I've never been more happy to do an improv show in my life.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight on a Monday night and supporting Two Complete Strangers.
Moonlight reflected off of the water. The city across the water at night. Daytime. The L. Wrigley Field. The Sign. Home of the Chicago Cubs. Visit Cubs.com. Cyclists by a boat basin. In the SUV.
This week has been great.
It's just flown by. Raymond Skill Falls was amazing. Dude, I totally didn't want to jump in the water because I knew it was going to be freezing cold. But then once you get there, you're like, well, I'm here. I got to jump in. I just got to go for it, kind of like the trip.
Simple fact, we don't do new things because we're creatures of habit, because the simple fact, life is easier when I know exactly what I'm doing. To know you can safely take a risk without really endangering yourself, whether it's physically or emotionally or whatever, is a great thing. So yeah, getting there and being like, why not? Why not do that?
I haven't been camping in 20 years and now I don't see very well at night, but yet we're here, let's try this. And we actually, we managed through it. It was a struggle at first, but it's just like, you know what, we're here, let's do it. We're here to experience new things and experience things we haven't experienced before.
Exactly.
So once you put your mind to something, you can do anything, along with this whole journey we're on.
It's never about where we end up, it's about how we get there. It's the journey that we're on, not the destination we're getting to. And that's one of the things I have to take to heart, because I get so stressed out about getting to a place at a certain time.
This has only been 1 weekend. It's been so amazing.
We've had so much experience.
If anything, it just inspire people to do the same thing.
To get out and really explore their own life.
Yeah.
Try new things.
A bright yellow sun. A red barn by a silver silo. Northfield, Minnesota.
Thank you guys so much for taking time out to sit down with us and chat.
Thank you very much. Here in, where are we?
Northfield, Minnesota.
Northfield, Minnesota. You have 2 sons that both have choroideremia.
A woman nods.
You have choroideremia.
An older man.
I guess the thing that I'm most interested in, you being a mother, is how you deal with that.
It's very different when you're a daughter of an affected male than being a mother. You want to protect them and you want to take care of them. At first it was like, we're going to have 2 boys. They're going to be able, like the 2 of you maybe, to support each other, go through this together. My dad is a wonderfully optimistic, positive person. It was always, well, when that time comes, and now the time's here. You feel guilty.
Yeah.
You feel guilty, and you want to make things better. You want to make sure all moms feel that. My husband and I feel very responsible that we brought them into this world. We need to take care of them. Some families have cancer, some have stroke, some have diabetes, some people have mental illness in their families. We have an eye problem, and we sort of downplay it. It's not that we avoid it. It's not that, but it's not central to who we are. A lot of us have a strong faith.
Mm-hmm.
We feel that, God is going to take care of things.
A lot of times when I'm feeling down and I start to come back, it's that filter through which God is using us.
The pink nose of a yellow lab and his brown eyes.
He's been my guide dog for about 4 years this come Christmas. He came at a time in my life when maybe I was feeling some of those lemons.
Yeah.
And man, here came lemonade. What an example of selfless love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just lives for others, somebody else, for me.
Yeah.
Usually. And he's, I know, yes,
The
you
dog
do.
offers a paw.
Thank you very much.
The dog licks his hand.
It's curious that we find ourselves dealing best with life when we're focused more on others rather than ourselves.
Yeah.
The hope is really there, and the awareness that you guys are propagating is so important. You guys will not be at the same place that my dad's at.
She takes her
Yeah.
dad's hand.
Have the hands to hold on to has also been wonderful as well.
Their tightly clasped hands. She wipes a tear. Every man's memory is his private literature. Aldous Huxley.
One thing left to look at before I was going to lose my vision. Initially I'd say my kids, but I already have in my heart what they look like. The sun setting on... I always cry. We always go to Canada. And I hope that's what my boys remember. I'll always remember my family, my dad, and my mom, and my husband, and my kids. But it'd be the sunset in Canada, in Lake of the Woods, behind the pine trees.
Yeah, I'm really thankful that I do have a rather vivid memory, I guess you might say. A bit like a camera that's taking the picture of me right now. And I tend to see those things that I remember from traveling and from people that I remember what they looked like at a certain age a number of years back when I could see them clearly. So these scenes I can see, even the side of the road when what's right next to the cars we go by. I used to love to see everything that was going by. I was so interested in the geography of this country, and I can't see that anymore. But Patty will tell me where the road sign is and what it says, the next exit, and I just bring it out of the archives from up here, and I can usually see it pretty well.
If I knew I was gonna go blind, the last thing I'd want to go see would be the coast of Washington, the beach, the ocean, the rocks, the mountains, the trees, all of that.
I have many sunsets that I can remember going back, and in many places, and we have traveled a fair amount, and I retain the memory of many of those. To ask what that last picture would be, if the moment later your eyesight was ending, what do you want to be gazing at when there's no image at all? And when I die and go to heaven, Jesus is going to meet me by saying, you know what, I'm a filmmaker. Here's everything you thought you missed. And I'm gonna see it all, so I'm not missing anything. I think it's more important at this point to center on, instead of what I'm missing seeing, it's more important for me to be able to reach out and ask who's around me that I can hug.
Right. Eyes closed, he hugs his daughter.
So I can sing that, you know. You are so beautiful to me, and you are. I love you.
He kisses her cheek.
Thank you.
That's okay.
In the SUV,
I don't understand why it's making that beep.
the driver's side doors are open.
Because your door's open?
But the car's not even on.
Are the lights on?
No.
Justin eats an ice cream cone.
Was it making it when I wasn't in the car?
Yep.
Try shutting the door. Yeah, the door's open.
South Dakota. Tod eats corn in a cornfield. The two stare at the horizon under a gray sky. In the SUV, Justin drives. Fields pass in a flat landscape. A motel. A steakhouse bar lounge. Welcome as you are. A cyclist shares the street. On a water tower, Canastota. A small boy follows a tall bearded man. Behind them, a small girl and woman both wearing black bonnets. A passing truck reveals the family, joined by an older woman and man with a long white beard. In a diner, Justin and Tod sit opposite two older men. They laugh and shake hands. Moving rapidly along a two-lane divided highway. A motorhome parked with a cloudy sky in the distance. At the Badlands National Park. Tod takes pictures of rock formations. On a trail, tall grasses quiver in the wind. On a two-lane road, more formations. A sign, 1880 town, Dakota Territory. Elevation, 2,391 feet. Population, 170 ghosts, 9 cats, 3 dogs. Numbers by the rabbits. 2 single-digit numbers, 1 double-digit, 1 triple-digit, all crossed out. Final number, 3,905. A Route 66 road sign. Justin inspects a display case. They both look at photos of Mount Rushmore. They walk around the town. Justin pushes through the swinging doors of the saloon. On the side of a wooden building, $5,000 reward, dead or alive. A black cat strolls the wooden walk. A lantern gleams. Tod is silhouetted in an opening. A horse trots on a fenced field. A fat spider with striped legs sits in the center of its web. The gray sky through the barn door. The white church at the end of the main street. Wagons and a carriage sit. Dusk. A wide expanse of blue sky. A road sign. Dakota. Thank you. Come again. A streak of orange in the horizon at the end of a 2-lane road. The guys get out of the SUV. We shall go wild with fireworks, and they will plunge into the sky and shatter the darkness. Natsuki Takaya.
Now this is what the campground usually looks like. A long time ago.
Oh, wow.
A postcard.
But it's been run down a little bit. We're trying to get it back into shape.
Yeah.
Outside, a first quarter moon comes into focus. In time lapse, Justin and Tod set up their tent. They wear headlamps and use flashlights. The tent goes up. They finish it with a pale blue fitted cover. A campfire burns.
So you know what? Here we are, out in the middle of South Dakota. And I think we should have a little celebration of what we're doing, you know? A couple little poppers we're gonna set off out in that field.
Yeah, this is a little popper. Awesome, dude. Let's do it.
All right.
You got more in that bag there?
Oh, I got a couple more.
Let's go blow junk up.
Turn your headlamp on, fool.
They carefully step over a low fence.
Ready for this?
Yep.
They run off. Red, white, green.
That was cool.
Wiggling white. Red explosions. green, one with a wiggling red tail, more red, many more bright white.
That's so huge. Holy crap, man.
Give me some love.
Tod hugs Justin.
Let's clean this up.
It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. Henry David Thoreau. Daytime. In a field. A windowless red car with the number 66 on it. Wearing a hoodie, Tod sits on a picnic table, his feet on the seat. 2 rows of benches and tables are behind him. Motorhomes are parked beyond. He stares off. He wiggles his brow. He swipes his hand on his brow. Justin sits in the SUV and scrolls the GPS. In a restaurant, the brothers drink coffee from thick white mugs.
I feel like this, is an edge. We're shifting over into the western half of the United States. Just a stretch of road where it's just the rolling grasslands.
Yeah, the vast rolling emptiness of it. So far we've hit a lot of spots, and today we're gonna go to the Mount Rushmore, and that's really cool, but it's just like, even the little stuff we're gonna see along the way that you don't notice is really what I like and what I wanna take with me from this trip.
More so than the sights themselves is the connections with people that we meet, like with Beth and Dave the other day. I never expected something that beautiful to happen. I'm looking forward to making new friends and family and as we travel along this, because more so than seeing the sights, I feel like this is an opportunity for us to connect with people.
On the road, headlights on, they travel a 2-lane road under a gray-white sky. On a sign under the 4 presidents, "You are here with an arrow." Justin in a black hoodie and Tod in a parka stare out into the dense fog.
I imagine it's beautiful.
They turn and walk away. Over the fog, white letters appear in parentheses, Mount Rushmore. Daytime. Horses graze in a yellow field. They travel a 2-lane road. Tod stops and takes a photo of a single mountain in the distance. Now closer, it rises from a valley of dense conifers to a steep, sparsely wooded base. Nearly sheer sides rise in grooves to the flat, worn top. They walk past waist-high waving grass with the mountain, Devil's Tower in the distance. A man with a long gray beard.
I think the last thing I would want to see would be my wife's face. New Zealand, Alaska, the Grand Canyon, not necessarily in that order, and all the national parks in South Africa.
Dusk falls over the mountain. Clouds drift across the moon. A brother is a friend given by nature, Jean-Baptiste Legouve. Wyoming. A parked tanker truck. A combine harvests in a field. Tod and Justin sit by the side of the road. Cattle trot and congregate by a barbed wire fence. Moving rapidly on a 2-lane road, Tod drives, his hand hanging out the open window. On a road lined by conifers, by an Idaho the Spud sign, the guys move with angular robotic movements. In the SUV, in time-lapse, on a busier 2-lane road. At Yellowstone, the 2 sit on benches as steam drifts from the Old Faithful geyser. In unison, they get up. More dancing by the sign, this time more rhythmic. Cattails wave. A brown bear prowls in the grass. A bison walks. Thistles in the foreground, the 2 sit beyond. In the SUV, Justin drives. At the Spud sign, the guys pose by a sculpted potato. Justin closes his eyes and leans against it. Tod leans and touches it with his hand. More dancing. Taller Justin rotates, hanging on to Tod, who is sprawled on his back. Justin stops. Tod falls on the grass. Steam rises at the edge of a road. By lapping water, Justin sits, eyes closed, earphones on. Fair-haired Tod blinks. The tips of a conifer. Fingers rub the needles. The two sit. The antlers of a deer rise from the grass beyond them. By a lake. They run on the rocky shore. Shirts come off. Buckles are undone. Justin hits the water first. He splashes under. Tod wades in, then falls back. Rays from the sun hit a mountain across the lake. The guys walk, pants on, shirts in hand. On the shore, 2 columns of stacked rocks. The sun sinks below the mountain. Driving at dusk. Daytime. At a gas station. The hatch is open on the SUV. An unleaded gas pump. At a picnic table.
Go straight up first. We have to experience it. No, it's like the chicken tenders you eat in high school. Whatever place you run into that we can find whatever the local thing is. And here it's bull testicles. This entire area is just the open sky. I mean, obviously with the
Big sky corner.
Yeah, but just seeing the beauty of America.
There's no place I'd rather be.
Yeah.
All these mountain ranges
Lot
here,
of
they've got these
history.
little canyons and they're all so beautiful, but this is the best one. 12 miles up. The road's gonna turn to dirt, don't get scared. You'll see the bridge. It's gonna be on your right side. I mean, if you miss the bridge,
Then we're blind.
well,
And even traveling along the road, stopping at places like this and meeting you guys. This is where it is, because it's about that connection. It's this weird, fun, awesome community that is the people that make up America.
I mean, please, go down to the swinging bridge. You're gonna love it.
On a suspension bridge.
I didn't think it would be this high up.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like
She was
closer to the
saying
water.
she was jumping off of it. Maybe the water's low.
Tod walks in front, his arms stretched out. The bridge bobs. Justin looks over the rock-strewn river that snakes through the canyon. In the water, Justin treads water. Dressed, Justin leans against a railing.
Is it cold?
Tod reaches for him. Laughing, Justin fends him off. On the road, dusk, night, a sign. Hungry Horse, 4, West Glacier, 15. At a wooden cabin, Justin rubs his palms. I guess when you turn off the main road, you have to be prepared to see funny houses. Stephen King, West Glacier, Montana.
We're here. It's the Purvis boys.
My natural reaction is to run back in the car and
leave. Let's hope this is the right house. Were you already asleep?
No, we just went to bed a few minutes.
Sorry we're so late.
You were coming in today.
We got
I'll get the lights on. Come on, Ed. Let me get some clothes on.
The older man walks off, the essentials just covered by his t-shirt.
We got it tied up outside of Clinton. There's a.
But we had mountain oysters.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're.
So we're officially
That's-
Montanians.
Yeah, that's our reason. There's Jim Brown with the pants on. What you doing?
Tod hugs the man.
How are you?
Good, good. And you?
He hugs Justin.
How are you?
Nice seeing both of you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh,
you too.
Out in the middle of
You
Montana.
too. Oh, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. Now the party can start.
You came from the wrong direction then if you're in Coram.
We came from Kalispell.
We said, everybody
Why
said
were you
turn
in
left, and we got to the
Kalispell is
sign
where the
and we
airport
turned
is.
right.
Everyone told us to come from Kalispell.
Who was everybody?
Everybody.
No,
Not
you,
true.
Mom.
No.
The email from Gwen. I'm not blaming you, Gwen.
no, but if you come from Kalispell, she's telling you how to get here.
Yes.
But you shouldn't come through Kalispell.
We didn't actually go into Kalispell, but it was basically, there's a big lake right by Kalispell. We went on the east side through Big Fork. Because everybody said, go to Kalispell. It's 25 miles from Kalispell.
We'll dish it out into what, 5 bowls, and it'll have to be enough. And I'll make it even. I'll make it even.
A dark-haired woman takes bowls from the cabinet.
Excuse Excuse me? If anybody's gonna eat that tomato, it ain't gonna be me.
That much out of the way.
So we came up 90 till just past Missoula.
Okay.
Yeah, so we came through Hungry Horse.
Where's Kalispell?
Right here.
The flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and most beautiful of all, Walt Disney. A heavy mist drifts overhead. Dew beads on pine needles. Fog obscures a valley. A small branch darkened with moisture. A green leaf with a serrated edge. On the porch,
Safe, be happy.
the guys get in the SUV. The family waves. In a town, a man stands by a green railroad car, Little Anaconda and Pacific Railroad number 9. Tod takes a photo while laying on the gravel.
The last thing I would like to see would be the smile of a child.
The guys climb aboard. They peer into the passenger car. The white line at the edge of the road speeds by. Green leaves are crisp, then blurred. Yellow fields blur. A house by the road. Barbed wire fencing. More houses closer together. The girders of a bridge. A town in a valley. The sun warms squat hills in the distance. Grape leaves against a darkening sky. Omak, Washington. In a tasting room, a woman with short graying hair is behind the counter. A brochure, wine tasting, Rockwall. Justin nods. The woman gestures with her hands. White wine is poured into a Rockwall glass. A glass of red wine.
Last thing I would like to see is the faces of my grandkids, the grandkids that I don't have yet.
Justin and Tod converse with patrons in the tasting room. At a mic, a man plays guitar.
Pray to the Lord, pretty mama seems to go to do you no good.
Well, I left this valley here that we're in, the Okanagan Valley, many, many years ago, and regretted having left the whole time I was gone. I guess the last thing I'd like to see if I was going to go blind was see my dogs running free. So we're in this valley, probably Boar Lake or something like that.
The woman sips. In the wine cellar,
See, these up here say France, and then these are Hungarian, and the different kinds of oak give different nuances.
Justin sips a red.
You're supposed to smell it first.
I can taste I'm sensing the oakiness. That's either, I feel like that's strong wine. I feel a little lightheaded from having one glass and then the delicious. Okay, I shall try this.
Another red. Justin swirls the wine.
This has a much different nose.
He sniffs, then sips.
Something like, it reminds me of a campfire. It smells like my youth. I feel there's a definitely...
He opens and closes his fingers.
This going on in my mouth.
Okay, that's the tannin.
Yeah.
Justin laughs and shakes his head.
And what happens are those long chains are...
The sun is gone, but I have a light. Kurt Cobain. Pink-tinged clouds move over grapevines. They become yellow and race over hills. Red grapes poke through white netting. Purple-red grapes hit by the sun. Tod and the gray-haired woman hug. The SUV drives off. Horses graze. A wooden bridge. Portland, Oregon. A paddle wheeler at the dock. Pedestrians walk in front of a trolley. High-rise buildings. Cyclists below a bridge. Justin shakes hands with a dark-haired man. They get in his classic Mercedes. Trees overhead obscure them in the car. Everett House, sensory deprivation. Expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power. Jim Morrison.
Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Todd.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So what we got you guys getting into here? It's a sensory deprivation tank.
Justin follows the woman. She hands him a towel. She leads him through a curtain to the tank.
Are you in shock?
I'm freaking out a little. Coming into the city, we don't know the city at all, and we go from these sprawling, wide open spaces to jam-packed lights every 50 feet and cars and bicyclists and pedestrians. It's an overload for our senses.
You want to lay with your head towards the back?
Which way's the back?
That way.
I'm pretty internal as it is, and so putting myself in a position where I'm completely internal. I don't cry that often. I only understand emotions through the scope of all the movies I've ever watched.
So you're all set. I'll give you a few minutes to shower and then start timing you.
Okay. Oh, God.
Justin showers. He rubs his face with both hands. The water runs down his back.
Because I really have no concept of what's about to happen, and I think that tends to normally freak me out.
His cane lies folded. A votive candle burns. He ducks into the tank. He closes the door. Tod showers. He inserts earplugs. He climbs into his tank. He closes the door.
My eyes do this thing where they sparkle. So I was getting all these almost geometric shapes that were tracing my eyes.
The man nods.
It was basically what it's like to go blind, what it's like to be blind, and that was, it brought me to this kind of place where it's just lonely and scary to lose your vision, and it just kind of all made me think, I don't want to go blind, you know? As soon as I got really kind of like uncomfortable and just scared and lonely in this dark space, and then I realized that I could actually, if I turned my eyes the right way, I could actually see the light, even though it wasn't on. I could see the reflective surface and reach out and touch it. Right there, those little moments that, you know, everybody needs something like that every once in a while.
Dressed, Tod puts on his black knit cap. Justin shakes hands with the man. Tod shakes hands. I travel for travel's sake. The great affair is to move. Robert Louis Stevenson. Justin stands at the base of a redwood tree and looks up. Slivers of sunlight reach the forest floor. Small patches of blue sky appear through the treetops. San Francisco, California, crossing the Golden Gate Bridge. Over the bridge, Tod's blue eyes, then Justin's green ones. The city above the water's edge. Sunset behind the bridge. City lights at dusk. Waves crash on the rocks behind a coastal bridge. Justin dangles his arm out the passenger side window. Dusk. A sliver of sun lies on the horizon. In the desert, an orange rock juts into a blue sky. The shadow of a Joshua tree falls across the rock. clouds move above more rocks. They race to join the setting sun. Double yellow stripes on the road. Night. White clouds pass rapidly over rocks and trees. Stars gleam brightly against the darkening night sky. Buy the ticket, take the ride. Hunter S. Thompson. Daytime. Tod squints. Tiny lines form by his eye. Justin looks up and squints. In a sleeveless t-shirt, Tod walks among the yellow grasses and gray-green foliage.
You know, we made it all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada. I think it's time we let off some steam.
A sign on a stucco building. The gun store. With it, a drawing of an automatic weapon. Tod signs a form.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The World War II package comes with a Thompson submachine gun.
Clips filled with shells sit.
Is that okay for you? Does that block outside noise?
Wearing protectors, Tod fires a handgun at a zombie in a Nazi uniform. He changes to another handgun. Justin observes. The target rolls forward. A target rolls away. Justin fires a handgun. Tod watches and smiles.
All right. Cool.
The attendant folds Justin's target. Tod leans against the counter with the automatic weapon. Spent casings fly from the breech. The attendant sets up a weapon on a bipod. He lays the ammo belt in the breech. Justin has first shot. Tod tumbles a shell in his hand as he watches. Casings litter the floor. An attendant nods and offers a hand. With their rolled-up targets, Justin shakes his hand. In a taxi, Justin gets out and unfolds his cane. They watch a water show. They walk on the pedestrian walkway. On the road. Painted Desert, Arizona. A derelict car sits in brush. The once white grill is pocked with patches of rust.
This is probably what they did bootlegging in.
The brothers sit inside.
I think we're clear. Not a soul in sight. Let me look around, see if there's any coppers behind us, see?
Let's get it, Clyde.
Don't forget, when we hit that intersection, we gotta get out, honk the horn, shoot the shotgun off, and holler. We don't want to scare any horses. Look at me, I'm driving. I'm driving like they did back in the day. And there goes somebody in another Model T.
Yeah.
That was a Jasper. He's a bootlegger now.
Yep.
Hope his car doesn't break down in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, look, there's a slow stop. Let's stop. Let's go fill up.
It blows my mind that 100 years ago, this is how people would have done this trip that we're doing.
Yep. It would have been a whole family vacation.
But this is probably my favorite park in the Southwest. I love the Grand Canyon, but this is just so not only beautiful because of the painted desert, but it's also just like this, just out here, the Route 66. Where kind of America got started, you know. Just us 100 years later doing the same thing.
Take care of all your memories, for you cannot relive them. Bob Dylan. The SUV is behind a truck that is behind a horse trailer. In a blur, buildings and vehicles pass by. At the rim of the Grand Canyon, across the gorge, the top of striated layers gleams white as the sun hits it.
Wow.
See, now you know why they call it the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, not just.
I don't think grand is a big enough word. It honestly makes me feel so small, and like whatever problems I have are nothing. Yeah, all right, watch your step.
I am watching my step.
Don't go any farther than that.
Justin looks down.
You could barely hold onto that ledge. If you're lucky, grab a tree. All right, now you're kind of freaking me out.
He bends at the waist.
I haven't moved any further, I'm just trying to see.
A bird flies past.
If you were just a regular explorer walking down, it's all trees, all trees, all trees, all trees, all trees, and then bam, you're just like.
Well, it was actually probably the second explorer.
Yeah,
I saw it. The first one just fell.
I definitely think it was worth 7,000 miles.
They sit at the rim. Justin nods. They stare off. Tod now sports a closely trimmed ginger-colored mustache and beard. Dusk approaches. Pinpricks of light dot the black sky. Daytime. The sun is a disk of white in a pale blue sky. Tod wears a golden black keffiyeh with aviator sunglasses. Justin polishes his deep blue saucer sled, White Sands, New Mexico. They carry the sleds through the dunes.
We can go way over there.
They wear them on their heads and face one another with palms together. Tod tries kneeling and tumbles out. Justin has no better luck. Tod tries standing, then hops out. Justin rolls down the dune.
Oh, yeah!
Tod speeds, lying on his belly on the sled. Justin races down feet first. Now on his stomach. Tod lies in the sand. His legs jerk. He crawls.
I can't go on. It's been 10 days. I heard if you dig in the sand deep enough, you'll find water. I'm just going to start digging.
Justin watches.
Ah!
Tod scoops up a handful of sand. He smiles at Justin and drinks. Sand clings to his mustache and beard and is in his mouth. Tod falls back on the sand. Justin finishes a bottle of water. He plops the empty bottle on Tod.
I'll go for help. All we have to do is stand up.
Tod spits out sand. Their SUV sits a little ways away, on Interstate 10 heading east. Clouds create a large yellow opening in the sky. A telephone pole passes. The sun dips towards the horizon. It becomes an orange glow behind a range of mountains, then disappears. Under yellow lights, car headlights cross the highway. We have to continually be jumping off cliffs and developing our wings on the way down. Kurt Vonnegut. The two stand barefoot on a cliff. They leap. They float. Tod dives. Justin swims. He climbs out on a rocky outcropping.
This trip has kind of helped me break out of the shell I'll get in, especially at night and doing different things and going into new areas. But now on a trip, I'm basically every day in a new environment, so
you gotta get comfortable fast.
Used to it. Jumping off that cliff is kind of the same thing. It's just like, I don't know if I want to do it, and then it's like, oh, let's just try it, and then once you did it, it's like, oh.
No matter how bad I think something's gonna be, it's always like 10 times better than I could have imagined.
Well, it's always the anticipation of doing something.
Thinking to yourself, oh, what's down there, this, that, and the other, then you do it, and you're like, that was awesome. It was so much better than I expected it to be. It's always the case.
Right.
It's always been the case, no matter what it is that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think I've definitely grown as a person, and not only as a person who has this vision problem, but as a person in general.
I think that's the whole point of life, is getting to be the best you that you can be.
Yeah.
I'm still the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, somebody's got to be.
Yep. I'll push you in these sticker bushes and leave you behind. I got the car keys.
Tod retrieves his sunglasses and gets up. A dark brown horse stands by the barbed wire. He swishes his tail, raises his head over the top wire, and takes a step forward. Enchanted Rocks, Texas. Night. They wear headlamps and hold flashlights.
All right, you ready? You ready to try this?
No.
Shot fireworks off. Shot machine guns. One thing left to do, really. is try and go on a night hike. So we're gonna try to see if we can climb as far as we can up there into the darkness.
How will we know when we're at the top?
I haven't figured that part out yet. Can you get up this big rock right here?
Probably. Don't bust your shin.
You might want to just put your stick away, dude.
I think you're right. Follow this path here?
I don't know. You all right?
Yeah, man.
Stay there.
Stay here?
Well, I'm gonna check out, see what's over here. It's a little steep, but you're fine. Shit. Oh, look, that scared the shit out of me for a second. Spider web. You all right? You okay?
Yep.
What's up there?
Darkness. I don't see you. Can you see me? Oh, I see you. I see you, okay.
I think this is just a straight down cliff.
Be prepped to grab me in case something goes wrong, but...
Why don't you go back the way you came?
I don't think there's anything over here. Why would two people who have choroideremia decide to climb up rocks in the dark?
See what it's like.
I don't think there's anything over here. How you doing?
Me, I'm waiting for you. I'm ready whenever you are. I think that looks kind of far down, so...
What does?
Where you're standing, right behind you.
A little steep? Okay. Whoa, whoa! You okay? You okay?
All right?
Yep. This is it. Is there more up?
No, but a better way down. Go down this and kind of to the right.
Ow! Big thorns, dude. Big cactus.
Remember this tree?
His hand on the bark.
Oh yeah, we're almost at the bottom, dude.
Now that's the base. High five, man. We did it. Blind climbing. Climbing blind.
They high-five. The stars gleam overhead. Daytime. A slender green insect climbs up Todd's arm. A highway sign. Rollingwood, Westlake Hills. High-rise buildings. Austin, Texas. The illuminated Frost Bank building at night. In a bar. A bartender pours a drink. The image of a red candle holder sharpens. A rider bucks on the mechanical Bronco.
Coming to America. If I was gonna go blind, what would I want to see? I'd like to see the woman of my dreams sold for what it really means.
A woman stands with a man. A street musician plays guitar. Colored lights grow larger. Paddle fan blades spin. The bottles behind the bar blur. Todd sips. On a street, the Bronco spins. Daytime. Signs. Dallas. Galveston. Girders of a bridge pass overhead. New Orleans, Louisiana. In the French Quarter. A man plays tuba. A woman walks her bicycle. A worker in a safety vest directs a truck as it backs up.
Hey guys.
What's up, guys?
Hey, my name's Todd.
Hey, Todd, what's happening? Charles.
Charles.
I'm Grover.
Grover, nice to meet you.
If I had to lose anything, I'd rather lose my vision than my hearing. I don't know, I would be lost without music. But most of the time, if it gets good to me, I close my eyes and
see. Exactly, exactly.
Absolutely.
They sit at a street-side cafe. Justin takes a bite. The two laugh. They sit in Jackson Square. On a bench, Charles plays sax. Reuben plays guitar. The real voice of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Marcel Proust.
Nice.
That was great. That was great.
Thanks a
Enjoy
lot.
your tour, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I don't get to see the country like you.
I really wouldn't want, well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't want to see my family, but I know what they look like already. So if I was to go blind, I would want to see things that I've never seen before and explore things that I've never explored before.
A sign on a crate, poet for hire. He uses a vintage typewriter.
Just before eyes close, just before sight fades, a semi-darkness shines, desperate to remember every color and every detail. Memories carried deeply, never to be disturbed, in their own way perfect. And now, since the mind remains behind eyes which no longer serve it, a new freedom is found, and a vision emerges, neither more true nor more false than that which was lost. And the eyes of this vision are not quite so easy to deceive.
Art man, what is going on?
Welcome to New Orleans, buddy.
Thanks for
How you
having us.
doing,
I'm
man?
doing good.
I am
doing
so
good.
proud of you and your brother, man.
Well,
this is a
thanks.
hell of a trek. Where is he?
You got to Louisiana and kind of enjoyed the gumbo a little much.
Well, look, we got a whole evening ahead of us. Let's go get some
Let's
music
do it.
down on Frenchman Street.
That
Come
sounds
on.
good to me.
All right.
Art has one hand on Todd's shoulder and a cane in the other. In a bar, a fiddler moves his bow. A guy plays a washboard. The neck of a guitar. The piano player. On the street. In a bar. A bartender with a rose on his wrist pours a dark beer. Tod and Art sit at the bar and talk. Outside, Tod uses his flashlight. They sit at a table.
Do you not see the sunrise? Do you not see the smile of a child? The tear in your mother's eye? All that's still central vision.
Yeah.
All that's what I've got. Choroideremia, well, it's a bear. It's a gift. And now this eye foundation, which is just extraordinary to me. It's hard to relay what it was like for 40 years to have no hope. And now I'm 54, and I have every confidence that you and your brother aren't going to go blind. You'll have sight. It will probably not be in time for some of us. And to think that you guys aren't going to face it is amazing. With you and your brother driving cross country, you're raising the awareness, and you never know who you're going to touch, who's suddenly going to say, I can help.
You know, I get so inspired by you because, like I said earlier, you walk so fast, and I'm like, I can't keep up with you. But yet, you do it. I mean, you've honestly you've awakened parts of me that this trip hasn't yet.
They clasp hands. They walk off. Daytime. White Spanish moss hangs from the trees. At the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo, a handler controls a pale yellow python.
Whoa, you're quick. This is so weird.
She drapes the snake around Justin's shoulders. He winces.
Name's Magic.
Magic, do whatever you want, dude. It's all good.
Magic, a spotted brown and yellow python, entwines himself around Tod.
Oh, there we go.
Well, I'd like to see my daughter, who I've never met. She's 34 years old, and I got a granddaughter and a grandson.
A lemur-like animal sits in the rafters.
They like me.
Nice.
One leaps to Tod. Another removes Justin's glasses.
Up here. Hello. Want some more?
They bottle feed large cats.
There you go. You're a sloppy drinker. Come up here. That's it. You done? I think it's empty. Kisses only.
A small cat tussles with Tod. They feed a small spotted cat on a leash. On the bay, the sky glows orange. They stand and face the setting sun.
The sun set over the ocean. That would be the greatest thing I could see before I go blind.
The sun disappears. A woman with a milk chocolate complexion and a solemn expression stands on a street at night with her arms crossed. An open horse-drawn carriage passes. Savannah, Georgia.
The last thing I would see, being that I am the last child in my family, the last male, I have to have a son. So if I don't have a son, my family name dies.
Moment later, your eyesight was ending. What do you want to be gazing at?
The woman of my dreams sold for what it really means.
The last thing I would want to see would be my wife's face.
Like memorize their faces?
The faces of my children.
Faces of my grandkids.
It would be the smile of a
Visit all my friends.
My husband and my kids.
See for the last time the
See my dogs running free.
The coast of Washington,
New Zealand,
the beach,
Alaska,
ocean,
the Grand Canyon.
Just the most beautiful,
the mountains,
postcard perfect,
the trees, all of that.
I'll always remember my family, my dad, and my mom.
Other things may change us, but we start and end with family. Anthony Brandt. Daytime. Sunlight turns the hanging moss yellow. A cyclist travels a street. Turning a corner. A white house. Silver paper stars hang from the entrance. Justin parks in the driveway of number 1014. The stars adorn the mailbox.
Oh, man.
On a plaque, home is where the Army sends you. The Purvises. Inside, a man and woman work in a kitchen.
Everything looks familiar here.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
How many miles altogether?
A little over 10,000. 10,000 right now.
You said you'd do it, you did it.
Yep.
You were meant for something special, and you've done it. Wow. I'm thrilled.
So when I look in the back of your eye, the choroideremia is like in a donut pattern around, so the mid-periphery is the vision that you've lost.
Optometrist checkup, Grovetown, Georgia.
Central area here, that white area, is the area where you still have excellent vision, but the periphery is lost. Tod, your visual field extends out to about 10 to 15 degrees of fixation, and around the side you have a loss. This is your right eye, and Justin, this is your right eye. And you can see the vision is encroached within 10 degrees. This makes you legally blind. You can have tax benefits from being legally blind. You're at a point now where it would not be safe for you to drive, either for yourself or other people on the road.
In the SUV, Justin drives. He follows Tod on the suspension bridge. He leaves the saloon. He jumps off the cliff. The fireworks explode. Tod in his keffiyeh, the water show in Las Vegas, near Niagara Falls, having dinner with the long-haired man, in a sculpture, the Golden Gate Bridge in the Golden Sun, looking out of the face sculpture, leaning over the Grand Canyon, spinning Tod at the Idaho Spud sign. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss.
Well, we did it, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
Bam. 13,000 miles, driven blind across the country, around the country. What are you gonna do now?
I don't know, what are you gonna do?
Upon diagnosis, it was learned Tod had only 40% of his vision remaining. Justin was left with 14%. Words appear. Driving blind. The image of the two walking becomes black. Credits appear, dedicated to Daniel O'Neill, in loving memory of Sandra Leister. Produced, directed, and edited by Brian James Griffo. Director of Photography, Ryan James Detzel. Audio Supervisor, Adam James Buckley. Post-production audio supervisor, David Nolte. Co-producer additional editing, Tod Purvis. Post-production coordinator, Steph Gordon. Special thanks, Neil DeGrow, Lee and Ellen Gordon, Ralph London, David Nolte, Rolly and Sandra Purvis, Jill Ryan. Narrated by Michelle Spitz. Description written by Terry Grossman. Described by Audio Eyes.
Then continue down the road so your passengers can see and share this time. I'm driving down